Cecil Weekly's regular host, Rob Churnside, is on vacation for a few weeks. Sitting in for Rob this week is Allison Donnelly.
Hello and welcome back to Cecil Weekly on Cecil.tv. I'm Allison Donnelly and today is Monday, May 22nd. Tonight we'll talk to Missy Reynolds, a local woman who founded the Cruzin for a Cause car show to benefit the Union Hospital Foundation. And we'll talk to a group of Tome students who are headed to the National Quiz Bowl in Atlanta, Georgia. Then we'll take a look back at the week when Cecil.tv visited the Cecil County Public Schools Town Hall to learn about the new active shooter response training being implemented in county schools. And we meet with Jakob Campbell, a student at Northeast High School who's headed to the SkillsUSA Industrial Motor Control Competition in Louisville, Kentucky in June. Missy, will you tell us a bit about yourself and why you started the Cruisin for a Cause car show?
Sure, Allison. My father passed almost 5 years ago. In June, it'll be 5 years. And while he was receiving his cancer treatments, we noticed there was a need to help middle-class people with their co-pays and deductibles. They didn't qualify for anything. And if anyone has ever been through cancer treatments or known somebody that's been through cancer treatments, every time that you go, your insurance only pays so much and you still have the out-of-pocket cost. And our goal was, we don't want the cancer patients to worry about money.
Right.
We want them to strictly focus on just getting better and getting through their treatments and things. So after he passed, we started our Cruisin for a Cause, which my father was very much a car enthusiast. And so Mom still has his 1960 Chevrolet Impala. He was very proud of his car. And so we started the car show. And the first 2 years, this will be our 5th year.
Wow.
The first 2 years we were able to do it on his birthday.
Oh.
And that's what Mom wanted. So whatever Mom wants, he gets. But it was very emotional. It still is. So the people, most of the car club guys, a lot of them knew my dad. If they didn't know him personally, they knew his car.
Are they from the county?
A lot of them are, but we actually get a lot of people from all over, from Pennsylvania, Jersey, Delaware. It's been growing every year. Last year we had over 200 cars. We were actually able to raise over $12,000 for the cancer patients last year.
That's awesome.
And duly part because we couldn't do it without the community's help. We are so blessed with a lot of the local businesses who knew my family, knew my father, and so they're wanting to help. They donate items that I can raffle off, and I do trophy sponsors. So businesses can sponsor a trophy for $100 and have their name on it. And anybody that donates for us for this cause, we try to give back. We make sure that we advertise for them. We let them come and set up a raffle, a table, a vendor table or anything like that. So whatever we can do for them because they're doing for us.
So you're selling raffle tickets this week, right?
Yes. So this week, starting today, so this morning we'll be set up in the lobby at Union Hospital all week from 8 to 7. And we're selling raffle chances. And so what we do is people just come in, they buy the chances, and they buy so many, and then they can pick and choose. We actually are blessed with 22 different raffle items.
Oh, cool.
I mean, the doctors, just different businesses. The two biggest items that we have is an antique wicker chair set with an ottoman and a gas grill, 5-burner gas grill. So they really love it. They're used to us now that we do it, and the hospital has blessed me and let me do it for at least a week of the show. So we will only raffle off the wicker basket set on Friday at the at the hospital, but the rest will be raffled off this Saturday. Our car show will be this Saturday from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at Northeast Walmart. We are going to have food. The hospital crew, they're great. They come and they're cooking charcoal grill, hamburgers and hot dogs. Kona Ice will be there. Chick-fil-A will be there. The ladies from my church are coming and they're selling their baked goods, and so everybody's participating, and it takes everybody for this to work and to raise the money. And of course we'll have music too. We have a band. We have a young band Experience, and they donate their time and play.
So this Saturday, May 27th, from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Northeast Plaza, which is where the Northeast Walmart is, the Cruisin for a Cause car show. Thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me on, Allison.
Hi, I'm Allison Donnelly for Cecil.tv. Tonight, the Cecil County Public Schools are hosting a town hall where they will introduce a new Safe Schools initiative called ALICE. The ALICE training program being adopted by Cecil County Public Schools changes the approach that schools will take in active shooter situations.
Our current response when there's a threat in the building is to go into a code red, which requires everyone to lock down into their classrooms or the space that they're in, and move to an area in the classroom that is least able to be seen outside of the classroom, darken the windows, and remain completely silent. What we have learned from our partnership with law enforcement is this is no longer best practice, given unfortunately events across the nation over time. What they have found is that when you go into a code red during a situation where there's a threat in the building, there's a higher likelihood of fatalities, because essentially no one is fighting back. The kids are sitting in a corner, they're sitting there sitting ducks, and quite frankly, the shooters know that's what we're going to do. Instead of going to a corner and sitting, if you go into a code red status, you immediately lock down, like you usually do, and then we try to get as much information out as possible, either through the loudspeaker, through email, through text messages, so that the individuals in the school can make informed decisions.
We're in the process of switching over to ALICE, which is going to give more options to the staffs and students in the schools if there would be an active intruder in the buildings. We've learned from previous events that sitting still in a locked classroom is not the best response if you have an active killer in a building that's coming through while you're waiting for them to come in. So we're giving other options to actually get out of the building. There are times still for lockdown if that's your only option.
School Resource Officer Sergeant Todd Creek explained that the ALICE training program is one more way the Sheriff's Office works closely with our schools.
So we will be working hand in hand, as was explained earlier, in a joint team of both school administrators and Cecil County Sheriff's Office personnel to train these techniques to all teachers and then eventually students as well. So again, they know how to properly respond to the best of their ability to make decisions on what the best to do in whatever situation they're faced with.
For Cecil.tv, this is Allison Donnelly. And now we have Jen Bober, who's the coach of the Tome Quiz Bowl team. There's a team of 4 students from Tome School who are headed to the National Quiz Bowl in Atlanta, Georgia. Jen, will you tell us a bit about the Quiz Bowl? What is the Quiz Bowl?
Sure. So National Quiz Bowl is a nationwide competition. It starts from middle school, goes all the way through college. Our Quiz Bowl team is made up of 4 students this year, and they have qualified for the National Quiz Bowl final tournament, which is in Atlanta, Georgia this weekend. They've been working since the beginning of the year, practicing. They've gone to 2 competitions. The first competition they went to in the fall was at Bel Air High School, where they qualified for the National Quiz Bowl finals. And then they competed at Johns Hopkins University in the winter, where they also did very well, but it was just an extra practice to get them ready for the finals competition.
So how do they practice when they're not in a competition?
So every Friday, my husband David and I go to Tome School. We have an hour with the kids, and we go through old quiz packets. So they practice buzzing in when they know the answers to questions. They practice collaborating with each other in getting answers, and we have practice competitions every week.
So there are all kinds of questions?
All kinds of questions ranging from math to science to movies to literature, really anything that you can think of, they're asked questions about.
Wow, so these guys will be like trivia champs.
They are trivia champs. I think they're potentially future Jeopardy contestants because they have to know a little bit about everything.
Yeah.
And so they've learned a lot, I think, this year. They've taken what they've learned in school and applied it, the books that they've been reading, the shows that they've been watching in reruns, to be able to, compete against other kids in the country on the same kind of broad knowledge questioning that they're going to get down in Atlanta.
Very cool. Well, let's meet the team. So this is the Tome School Quiz Bowl team headed to the National Quiz Bowl in Atlanta. What's your name and what grade are you in?
I'm George Roos, and I'm a senior at the Tome School.
And what's your quiz specialty?
I am good at chemistry, history, and math.
What's your name and what grade are you in?
I'm Allie Martini. I'm a senior, and I think my favorite questions are the math questions.
I'm Aiden Wiggins. I'm a freshman, and mostly science and technology is what I'm in.
And I'm Ethan Bober, and my specialties are mostly history, lit, and geography.
What about, do you ever get pop culture questions?
We usually get them occasionally, not very often, but there's some about TV shows like Friends or The Office or something, and those will occasionally come up, as well as TV or music or movies as well.
And so aside from your team practices, how do you guys prepare independently?
I surf Wikipedia occasionally, and just a lot of it you can get just from aggregate knowledge from the past, just from going through school and everything. So just remembering that, going over old study guides and the like. So.
Do you guys agree? Do you prepare any differently?
Mr. and Mrs. Bober also give us these sheets from the National Quiz Bowl website. They're usually called you've got to know these ... with a topic, and those are really useful to memorize, just different aspects of history, literature, whatever.
So how can people follow your progress, find out how the results of the Quiz Bowl?
They can go to naqt.com for the results.
Very cool. Thank you. Good morning. I'm here with Jakob Campbell. He's a senior at Northeast High School, and he won the SkillsUSA state competition. He's headed to Louisville, Kentucky on June 19th to compete at the national level. What's the state competition like?
Well, we start out with a 4x8 sheet of plywood, and everything's on the floor, and we get a layout and a schematic, and we have 5 hours to get everything out of the box, put it on the wall, conduit and everything, and then wire it up and make sure it works.
Can you explain this a little bit for our viewers?
Well, this is the motor starter. You have your 3-phase power coming in, and then push the start button. It closes the coil, closing the armature, and then the 3 lights can come on.
How long did this take you in the competition?
It took me about 4.5 hours.
And you were given 5 hours, is that
Yeah,
correct?
5 hours to do it.
So what are your future plans?
My future plans is to be a journeyman electrician and work and go to school.
Is that a local thing, or where do you go to school for that?
I'm going to go to school at Hartford Community College down in Hartford County.
Very cool. Thank you. I'm here with David Scheel. He's the teacher of heavy industrial maintenance at Cecil County School of Technology. David, can you tell us a bit about the heavy industrial maintenance program here?
Sure. It's about 50% classroom, 50% shop. It's a nationally certified program, so there's a curriculum I have to cover, and I'll talk more about what we do in the shop. We do a lot of electrical projects. Students learn to bend conduit, they learn to thread conduit, they learn to work with MC cable and different wiring techniques. We start out doing some basic projects where they hook up receptacles and 3-way and 4-way switches and that sort of thing. And eventually we get into relays and contactors and controls, and the students do various control projects. And meanwhile, we also do some welding, MIG and stick welding. They use an oxyfuel cutting torch, a plasma cutter, We do a variety of things in the shop. It's really a pretty interesting program.
So what kinds of fundraising efforts is the school doing for Jacob's competition?
Right now, all the students are selling like Joe Corby's Pizza and that sort of thing. That's a fundraiser we're doing. I've received a donation from the VFW Northeast York Building Products and the Wildcat Generation Facility. And of course, I want to say a big thank you out to those for supporting us. It's turned out to be fairly expensive to go out to Louisville, Kentucky to compete at the national level. So those donations are all going toward that. And if we get more than what's needed, it will still go toward skills next year to support students that will be going to the nationals next year. So it's all going toward the SkillsUSA competition.
Awesome, thank you.